Hello and welcome into Anchorage Bucs baseball alongside my partner Will Hopkins, Vic Masley here at Mulcahy Stadium for another matchup between the Anchorage Glacier Pilots and the Anchorage Bucs, and it's the final home game for the Bucs this season. They will be at Mulcahy Stadium a couple more times facing off against these Glacier Pilots, but they will be on the visiting end. So the last time for the Bucs batting last in the first inning and last chance to get the first walk off, but of course, don't want to have that come into effect here against the Glacier Pilots. Want a handed victory, an easy one at that, just to get the three wins in a row. And speaking of 3 wins in a row, the Bucs come into this game 4-0 in games that they have won two straight coming into that game. So 4-0 meaning that they have extended all those 2 game win streaks to 3 game win streaks, and I think that that is where you really start defining it as a win streak of sorts. So just 2 games, back-to-back victories, really good job by the Bucs. A close one against the Oilers, and then a dominant victory against the Chinooks in a 6-0 shutout. So back-to-back shutouts for the Bucs, and like I said, trying to go on another win streak. 5 game win streaks twice back in June. What is the recipe for success, Well, and get another win streak started?
I mean, the recipe for success is just playing like you played yesterday. It was complete baseball. Could have been better with 16 guys left on, but 6 runs on 8 hits. The pitchers pitched a shutout, and this is a huge game. This is game 2 of the Mayor's Cup. The Bucks took game 1, so a chance to win the cup. It's been a long wait with some rain delays. Game 1 happening all the way back on the 12th. Usually those 3 games day after day after day, but the Bucks won that game 9-1, and that win was the 6th straight win against these Pilots. That includes 4 in league play plus the 2 on July 4th. So kind of contrarily to what we saw last year, where this is kind of the last team the Bucks would want to be playing if they're trying to start a streak. I think this year this might be the exact team the Bucks want to be playing. They're trying to continue this streak, and as Josh Hankins said last night, let the Bucks stay hot.
Yep, 7-2 versus the Pilots in total, including those non-league games. And like you mentioned, it's been a while since the Pilots beat the Bucs. And after they beat the Bucs went on to win 5 straight games. They did that twice actually to open up the season. The Pilots beat the Bucs 1-0, 5 straight wins after that. The next loss came against the Glacier Pilots, and then since then, 5 straight wins. And then obviously the season has unfolded, and the Bucs have just won every single matchup between the Pilots since that second loss to them. So looking for another one at that, and two really good pitchers on the mound in tonight's game for the Bucs. Zan Rose, who is one of the best starters in the league, let alone just the Bucs, and then Peyton Allen, who's looked really good for the Pilots. So we'll talk more about Zan Rose, and we'll get into Peyton Allen as well as starting lineups and more after this break. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium, just about 8 minutes away from first pitch, give or take. And like we mentioned, the starting pitchers, Peyton Allen versus Zan Rose. Starting with Peyton Allen, this will be his ninth appearance in league play. He has started 2 games. It's a little surprised about that. Thought he started a little bit more, but the Bucks have seen him a couple times. He is 1-1 with 3 saves coming out of the bullpen, so he definitely has that starting type of stuff, and he has that relief type of stuff too as well. So a good job for a good job so far for Peyton Allen, and we'll be likely to see him do a good job against the Bucks, who have been struggling at times to score a lot of runs, I would say, but also have done a good job in terms of yesterday, putting up 6 runs to help out Garvey Rummery, made him feel a lot better in his start, made him a little bit more comfortable as well. So Peyton Allen and Zan Rose, looking more in depth into Peyton Allen. Uh, 1 second here. Just getting everything sorted out with our new PA guys next to us. Couple changes, so we have some of the players running the PA. We'll update you more on that a little bit later, but just a little bit of commotion so far here. But going back to Peyton Allen, like I said, this will be his ninth appearance against the Bucks. Though we'll have to go back all the way to the first game. He pitched 2 innings. That was out of the bullpen as well, so he did not start in that game. And then so far, his last outing was against the Oilers. Just went 1 inning. That was on July 19th. Very clean, no hits, no runs. 3 and 2/3 innings against the Oilers before that, and 3 innings before that. So he definitely is a known starter, and he also can come out of the bullpen.
Yeah, and that 1 inning was very important. That was the ninth inning of a combined no hitter. So a lot of pressure in that situation. Got the job done. But like you said, just his third start for Zan Rose. This will be his fifth start, sixth appearance overall, 3-0 with a 0.94 ERA. Just incredible stuff from Rose. And he had his last outing to date, his last time out there. 8 and 2/3 innings, super close to going the whole way. 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, and no walks. We talked to Rose after the game. The no walks is definitely something that he prides himself on. He has pitched against the Pilots just once, though. 4 innings of no-run ball back on June 9th. Go ahead and give you the lineup that he'll be facing for the Pilots. Obviously, a little bit different than all the way back in June. Dylan Marks will lead things off at second base, with Luke Hefner Jr. batting second and playing shortstop, and Luke Stolgo rounding out the top three, roaming center field. Junior Barajas will bat cleanup as the designated hitter, with Chase Knight right behind him, batting fifth and in position number 5 of third base. Jacob Coes will play left field. He'll bat sixth, with Jake Dodge at first base batting seventh. Jack Dorn will play right field. He'll bat eighth, and Bo Rico will finish things up and be behind the plate catching for Peyton Allen. Marks, Hefner, and Stolga, Barajas, Knight, and Coes, Dodge, Dorn, and Rico. And now for the Bucks, Josh Hankins in the leadoff spot. Great game last night for him. He's playing third base. Cole Carlone in the 2-hole as the designated hitter. Andrew Lamb, he's batting third and playing right field, with his corner outfield buddy Ryan Callahan right behind him batting fourth. Tommy Eisenstadt is at first base. He's batting fifth. Good to see that he's A-OK after the scratch due to illness yesterday. Peyton Knowles is at second base. He's batting sixth. And Max Ross, another start in the center field, batting seventh. Brody Briggs catching. He's batting eighth. And Will Burns batting ninth at shortstop, with Zan Rose on the mound. Once again, that's Hankins, Carlone, and Lamb, Callahan, Eisenstadt, and Knowles, Ross, Briggs, and Burns, with Zan Rose on the mound. Still getting some announcements here from our fill-in PA announcers. We've got Zane Kelly in there manning the scoreboard. We've got Wyatt Halverson, who's giving the Bucks lineup right now. I believe Garvey Rumries also helping those guys out there, and I'm sure they appreciate hearing their names called by their teammates, as it sounds like Halverson just finishing up. And then we'll have the national anthem here for Game 2 of the Mayor's Cup. Bucks looking to take the cup back for the first time since 2018, and why not keep that from going to a Game 3? Obviously, we'll still play the third game as it counts to the league, but why not just get things done here this afternoon, or at noon, I guess I should say, with Game 2. The ninth place hitter, Will Burns, has been announced, so it seems like it's time for the national anthem. We'll step aside.
Please stand for the national anthem.
Good job by the Bucks over there next door to us, getting that anthem played for us. Wanted to hear Wyatt Halverson sing it himself, but I guess he got a little bit too shy as Zan Rose steps onto the bump to throw his warm-up tosses to Brody Briggs, Tommy Eisenstadt at first base, Peyton Knowles at second base, Will Burns at shortstop, and Josh Hankins at third base, Ryan Callahan in left, Max Ross in center, and Andrew Lamb in right field. The Bucks wearing the black tops with the white pinstripe pants and the black and white hats. As for the visiting Pilots for this game at Mulcahy Stadium, they're rocking all gray with those gray tops and gray pants and blue lettering. Bucks 7-2-1 in total against these Pilots, 5-2 in league play, looking to extend that overall win streak against the hometown rivals to 7 games after going 1-2-1 through the first four, really turning things around. And we know it was a tough year last year against the rivals. So great to see the dominance, and hopefully the Bucks can keep it going and bring that cup back to the good side of Anchorage, the first base dugout, or third base, excuse me, dugout and clubhouse. Zan Rose been fantastic, 8 2/3 innings last time out, and talked about how he has faced these Pilots. 5 guys in the lineup tonight faced him: Dylan Marks, Luke Stolka, Chase Knight, Jake Dodge, and Bo Rico. As for the Bucks, who have faced against Peyton Allen, who only threw 2 innings back on June the 6th, Brody Briggs, Cole Carlone, Tommy Eisenstadt, and Will Burns, the only ones who have faced him. Just a couple more minutes, and then we should be ready for play. Dylan Marks, Luke Hefner, and Luke Stolga will be the three for the Pilots here in the first inning. And after the throw down to second, we're just about ready as Dylan Marks climbs in and Vic Maslia climbs in for the play-by-play.
Thank you, Will. Game 2 of the Mayor's Cup. A little bit delayed after the first one. Second second one and third one as well, both getting postponed and rescheduled. Next one will be a doubleheader game on Friday. Back to back with an already scheduled league game, away game for the Pilots, as that one is fouled away by Dylan Marks, and we are underway at Mulcahy Stadium here. Another overcast, cloudy day, a little bit brighter than yesterday, but still, sun just not really cooperating with us. Still a little bit chilly out there because of it. 0-1 from Zan Rose is hammered into left field. Long run for Ryan Callahan, and that one is going to be off the wall. Marks sprinting around second. He's going to hold up there, and it's a leadoff double for Dylan Marks, and I don't think that was on your bingo card at all.
Absolutely not, especially with Zan Rose on the mound. This is a Pilots team that is not one of the better hitting teams in the league, and we know Zan Rose so dominant out there. Kind of expected him to kind of breeze through this first inning, not to be, but knowing Zan Rose, this is not going to make him lose his composure. Yes, there's a speedster on second base, but if he pitches well, it shouldn't matter.
So one pitch, or a couple pitches, and that one is a double off the base of the wall. Something I don't think Zan Rose was expecting to see after that 8 2/3 start. That one's a called strike. He did give up a couple runs, so it wasn't a perfect 8 2/3, but he traded those couple of runs for really quick outs, and that was his success for that game. Just a marvelous job working around those batters that he faced. 8 2/3. Gosh, just one more out and would have had a complete game.
I mean, we haven't seen pitchers in this league usually go 6 innings, and maybe a couple going 6 or 7, but 8 2/3 is really unbelievable from Rose. And after the game, he thought he had his last inning 3 or 4 times, but luckily he got to go as far as he did.
No balls, 2 strikes. Zan Rose comes set, looking for that first out. Ooh, and he doesn't get it. Not by much, though.
Definitely not by much. Didn't see Rose walk off the mound, though, so maybe the call he was expecting.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Bucks in their black tops. Yellow lettering, Bucks written across the chest, outlined in white. Those white pinstripe pants. 1-2. Flare into left field. Long run for Callahan, but he's going to get there. That one actually hit a little bit harder than I expected, so Callahan not having to run super far in.
Yeah, I thought the same thing off the bat. Thought it had a ton of backspin and was not going to travel nearly as far as it did.
So that'll bring up Luke Stolga, playing in center field today. A noon game, first and only noon game that we've had this season.
Rose took care of Stolga back on June the 9th. A ground out and a strikeout.
First pitch misses downstairs. Wind blowing from right field to left field a little bit. Nothing too crazy.
And talking about Stolga hitless in that first time against Rose, nobody in the lineup today for the Pilots had a hit against him. He only gave up 2.
1-0, big swing and a miss at that slider. Small crowd here at Mulcahy Stadium. This is a makeup game. It was supposed to be a scheduled off day, but of course the Mayor's Cup got rained out, so it was rescheduled to today, and the next one will be a doubleheader on Friday. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down. Pitch from Rose, another slider, another swing and miss.
Rose looking confident, really hasn't let that leadoff double phase him, continuing to do his thing, pitch confidently, and really not surprised to see it.
I think last start for him, seeing him give up 2 runs and 5 or 6 base hits, really saw how good he was at working around the traffic on the bases. As this one's popped up, shallow center field. Will Burns going out there. It'll be the shortstop's ball and 2 down. And like I was saying, you always say it shows more about a pitcher of how they can get out of jams and how they can work around issues more so than if they just play clean ball every single outing. Of course, that never is going to happen. You're always going to run into a couple outings where you're not on your best, and we saw that from Zan Rose, and he still went 8 2/3 innings. It's just amazing that he had that ability.
Told him after the game, and can say it about a few of these Bucs pitchers, we're just spoiled to watch him play.
Junior Barajas grabs a bat, swings and misses at that first one. The designated hitter. I feel like we have not seen Barajas catching that much. He's usually the designated hitter.
Yeah, only once or twice, I feel like.
It's usually always Bo Rico or Evan Chadwick. And lefty bat in the lineup as he pops this one up. Could also be Will Burns' ball. Shallow left field, so Ryan Callahan's going to take this one. And Zan Rose works around the leadoff double. Strands one Pilot at second base, and as we head to the bottom half of the first inning, nothing doing for the Pilots and the Bucs coming up when we come back. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium. Bottom half of the first inning, Zan Rose gave up that leadoff double to Dylan Marks, but sat down the Pilots 1-2-3 after that with 3 straight flyouts. 2 to left field, and Ryan Callahan had those, and then 1 to Will Burns in shallow center field. On the hill, Peyton Allen.
First start since June 22nd.
A little bit surprising. He's gone about 3 innings, mostly sprinkled in a 2-inning game in there as well since that last start. And he will face Josh Hankins, Cole Carlone, and Andrew Lamb.
And it's a little bit puzzling. 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts in that start. You would have thought that after that he'd get some more opportunities.
Not sure why. See if he gets another one after a potential good start against the Bucs as he fires a strike to Josh Hankins. Last night, Hankins, a solo blast to left field, and he just got every stitch of that baseball. Pulverized it. He's earned the leadoff spot today. That one's a called strike on the inner half. And Hankins, you might say, well, he's got the power. Maybe he should bat 3 or 4, and you might be right. But also Hankins does such a good job on the base pass at messing with those pitchers. Going to be tough to get on the base pass with an 0-2 count as he takes that one for ball 1 outside.
And the Bucs aren't scared to put power in that first part. We've seen Cole Carlone lead off, and when the bottom of the order produces, it doesn't really matter. But a huge day yesterday, reaching base 3 times.
1-2, just a bit outside.
And not only did he reach base 3 times, but stellar play in the field per usual. And super fun to watch on both sides.
2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Went front door with that slider. And he gets Hankins retired, but not liking that call too much, I would say.
Yeah, Hankins kind of staying in the batter's box an extra second or two. Didn't argue it with the umpire, kind of just stood and stared, and I'm not sure that I blame him. Yes, that ball was coming in towards the plate, but I don't think it made it all the way there.
So Allen might have gotten a gift as he faces Cole Carlone now, who bats in the 2-hole. Went is low and away for ball 1.
Carlone, another huge day yesterday, 3 hits, couple tough plays at first base that he made look easier than they really were.
1-0 misses outside. Allen almost that sidewinder motion.
Yeah, I guess the only thing that really explains why he'd be coming out of the pen, we don't often see sidearm guys starting, but still he was so successful.
That one's just a bit outside. 3-0, and Allen having a smirk at the home plate umpire after that last call missed just barely. Looked like that was more of a strike call than that last pitch to Josh Hankins. 3-0. That finds a corner. 3 balls, 1 strike on deck. Andrew Lamb. He's definitely a guy that has earned the spot in the 3 or 4 hole. He
100%.
splits any single gap there is on the field. Right center, left center, you name it. 3-1 hits it the other way to Luke Hefner at short. He bobbles, and that is going to be an E6.
And a surprising E6. We know Hefner to be super sure-handed over there. We're talking to some of the guys yesterday about some of the best defensive players in the league, especially at that shortstop position, bringing up P.D. Soto, and they're bringing up Luke Hefner, and we're so used to him really shining the leather and just couldn't make the play.
And that ball was tailing away from Hefner towards third base. I'm wondering now if he thinks that he should have gone backhand with it. It was honestly an awkward play trying to come around it and field it in front of him. Andrew Lamb takes a called strike, and that's the ability that Carlone's balls do, is kind of tail a little bit, especially when he hits it opposite field. They tail towards the left field line. That one tailed on Luke Hefner. I'm just sure he was not expecting it. Throw back to first, Carlone just barely in there. Peyton Allen almost thinking he had him.
And for Carlone, 8 stolen bases on the year is yet to be caught.
Lamb with an 0-1 count, grounds it. Great stop at first by Dodge. He will not have a play at second. Good job by Carlone sprinting and making sure that he was safe into second base. Lamb does his job and moves over Carlone, but just misses a double down the line.
Yeah, he's a doubles machine, had an RBI double yesterday and could have easily had another one there if not for the great play of Jake Dodge.
So to go as a 3 unassisted. Dodge was breaking off the bag after holding Carlone on to go back to his normal position, but thankfully he didn't break too far off, because if he did, that would have gotten by him. Callahan steps in. Good night for Callahan yesterday. Just 1 for 5, but he drove in 2 runs. For Carlone on second base, a 3-hit night, but he also left 8 stranded on the base paths. One 0 hits Callahan. He doesn't even move.
He smiled.
I think he was having a talk with Allen. I'm assuming they know each other just by that exchange. Wondering how they would know each other. Peyton Allen and Ryan Callahan. That one didn't hurt him too much. A good job staying in the box, taking 1 for the team.
Yeah, they actually played at Kansas together in 2022. So Peyton Allen goes to Tyler Junior College. I think he might be on his way to Houston, but he played for Kansas in 2022, where Ryan Callahan played for a couple years.
And now Eisenstadt hits this into left or right field, excuse me. Jack Dorn is there, and that kills the Bucs' threat. So they get 2 on, but can't get him around to score. Peyton Allen does a good job of leaving 2 Bucs on the base pass. We head to the second inning, still scoreless here in Anchorage. Welcome back. Chase Knight at the dish. Off Xander Rose. 4 batters came to the plate in the first inning. A double and then 3 flyouts. Good job by Zan working around that leadoff double. First pitch tonight is grounded fouled on the first baseline.
Yeah, great job working around that double. So many pitchers would be scared by that start to the game, but Xanra is definitely not one of those guys.
It'll be Knight, Coase, and Dodge due up as this one's fouled back the opposite way. Wind dying down here. Almost nothing going on. Still a cloudy day. 0-2. Ground ball out to Peyton Knowles at second. He fields, and that is the first out of the second.
Easy enough. No strikeouts so far for Xan Rhodes, but he hasn't needed them. Inducing weak contact. First few times in the air, that time on the ground, but we don't see a lot of hard contact off of him like we saw from Marks to get things started. Has really settled in.
That'll bring up Jacob Coase, the left fielder. Rose stands all the way on the left part of the rubber. Maximize that spin on the breaking ball as that one is low and inside. Working onto the windup, no one on base. Looking for his first 1-2-3 inning. And one just misses. Bucs tomorrow will enjoy an off day. It was supposed to be back-to-back off days today and tomorrow, but of course the reschedule of the Mayor's Cup means we play today. 2-0. Popped up, shallow left field. Will Burns running out there. He's going to take that one. 2 down.
Easy enough. Xan Rose cruising right along since that leadoff double. And once again, super weak contact as Knight got way under that one. Or, excuse me, Coase.
4 fly balls, just the 1 ground out by Chase Knight this inning, and then the, of course, double by Dylan Marks. The 5 batters hitting it in the air. See what Jake Dodge has in store as he takes a called strike. One hit and the 1 error for the Pilots. That was Luke Hefner at shortstop. Jake Dodge fouls that back.
And a little bit surprised Dodge isn't higher as well, but
just the wrong shape. Rose ready again. Still an 0-2 count. Swung on and missed. He gets Jake Dodge for his first swinging strikeout, first strikeout of the game. So a 1-2-3 inning for Xan Rose as we head to the bottom half of the second. Still scoreless in Anchorage. Welcome back. Bottom half of the second inning. First time in about 4 games since the Bucs haven't scored in the first inning. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that just means that the Bucs are going to add on runs every other inning from now on. Facing Peyton Allen still. Called strike on the outer half.
Yeah, last couple of games finally getting runs in more than just the first inning.
Yep.
But we kind of took for granted the fact that they were scoring in the first inning in the first place.
Scored 5 in 5 innings last night. This ball is grounded to Dylan Marks at second. The peg to first is in time, 1 down. Yeah, 5 innings last night, which the Bucs scored at least 1 run in. And just 2 innings 2 nights ago against the Oilers where the Bucs scored 2 runs in.
And prior to that, it had been 1. Want to shout out Stephanie Burgoon off to our right on the balcony. You can't see her, but she's the photographer for the Bucs. All the amazing pictures you see for our game day graphics as the pitch is outside to Max Ross, shot by her, and she does a phenomenal job. You can check out her Instagram page for her photos. Goon Gallery 96 shot some of the air parade and did an unreal job with those planes.
That's a cold strike to Max Ross. Yeah, she is just great. She's such a big help for us, and she takes great photos.
And lets us and some of the players stay at her school as well. Cannot thank her enough.
That one's outside to Max Ross. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hit to left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Max Ross goes the opposite way, and he'll just stay at first base. I thought for a sec he might be able to leg out a double, but I think he was settling for a single. Just didn't realize that it was giving Coase a little bit of trouble out there in left field as that ball was just tailing away from him. So Max Ross, good to see him going the opposite direction.
He's been hitting the ball really well lately. Yesterday, no hits, but 3 walks, so getting aboard. We saw the home run from him just a few days ago and really been seeing the ball well, and seems like that thumb's feeling pretty good.
Close play back at first. Peyton Allen thinks that they might have had him. Also thought that he might have had Carlone as well. Good pickoff move from a right-hander.
Ross swiped a bag yesterday.
Speedster is known to cause havoc on the base pass for teams and is a great guy to have on him. PK, Josh Hankins.
Hankins had 3 yesterday.
Yep.
Carlone.
Brody Briggs at the dish. After him, Will Burns, and then back to the top of the order. Pitch by Allen's a cold strike. He's working on the outer half of the strike zone and is doing a good job. Max Ross, I think, noted that and was able to basically hit it where it's pitched, saw an outside pitch, and poked it into left field. See if Briggs takes a page out of his book as Allen tries to check on Max Ross again.
And not the best matchup for Peyton Allen. Sidewinders usually have more of an advantage against hitters with the same side, right-handed hitters for right-handed pitchers. And so many lefties in this Bucs lineup, and pitch almost hit one of those lefties.
Allen hit Ryan Callahan last inning. Ryan Callahan's also a left-handed batter, so wondering if he's just struggling to these lefties a little bit more. 1-1 misses way outside. Hankins and Will Burns, the only righties in the order today for the Bucs. Everyone else is a left-handed batter. You usually see that from the Bucs. One's fouled back. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Late in the season, all these players dealing with soreness, and even you, Vic, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. No, we don't need to talk about it. I need another massage while I'm up here. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Peyton Allen. That one's way outside again. Back-to-back misses arm side. Can't locate that breaking ball, it seems.
Yeah, struggling here against Briggs. A few really big misses.
I'd honestly be shocked to see Max Ross not go and try to take second base here. He doesn't. 3-2, and that's off the glove of Allen. He's just going to have one play, and he makes it at first. Brody Briggs is retired. That moves Max Ross up 90 feet.
And for a second, I was super worried that Ross wasn't going, because if Allen fields that cleanly, it's probably a double play. Luckily, he didn't, so Ross was able to get in to second base safely.
Yeah, that deflection off the glove really gives the Bucs a break here. Still 2 down, but a runner in scoring position. Probably would have been an inning-ending double play. So Will Burns grabs a bat. That's a called strike on the outer half. Burns talked about his struggles at the plate and why he's moved down to the bottom half of the order. We just hope that it can spark some new life in that bat. 0-1 is hit to right field. Jack Dorn has a good beat on it. He's there. 3 outs for the Bucs here in the bottom half of the second. A good job by Peyton Allen working around the 1-out base hit to Max Ross, who is left stranded on the base pass. We head to the 3rd inning. Still no score in Anchorage. Into the 3rd inning. Zan Rose back out there. Back-to-back goose eggs left by both starting pitchers. Peyton Allen's looked really good, so has Zan Rose. He is going to face 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Pilots. A 1-2-3 last inning. Jack Dorn leads off the Pilots. Takes that one low and inside.
And for Zan Rose, just 22 pitches through 2 innings, something that we've kind of got used to seeing, and that's what helps him go so deep into these games.
1-0 pitch, misses low and in once again. Infield pretty straight up for Jack Dorn. Bo Rico after him, and then back to the top of the order, and Dylan Marks. Ground ball sharply hit out to Tommy Eisenstadt at first. He'll take it himself, 1 down.
Yeah, good job by Eisenstadt, just getting his whole body in front of that one. And because it was hit so sharply, ensuring that it would stay in front of him, and easy enough makes the play.
So Bo Rico, the 9-hole batter, climbs in. It's their normal catcher, everyday catcher, I would say. Him and Evan Chadwick. Like we mentioned, Junior Barajas, just not seeing him that much catching for the Pilots. Usually they're DH. Foul tip and miss at that.
And Chadwick's hitting 400, only 20 at-bats, but still 8 for 20. You'd think that would give him some more opportunities.
Rose wheels around an 0-1. That'll make it 0-2. Rose way ahead here. Pitch, check swing, did he go? They'll appeal, and they say he did not. Briggs was ready to throw down to 3rd base.
And because Brody Briggs was confident, I'll say I was confident too.
I thought from up here it looked like he held his swing. Maybe that's just me. And Briggs maybe just trying to sell the call. Maybe he didn't think so either. Trying to help Zan Rose out a little bit. Give him his 2nd strikeout. But another opportunity to do it right here. 1-2 and a foul ball by Bo Rico.
That foul ball is brought to you by ABC Alaska.
Final home game for the Bucs. Couple more games here at Mulcahy Stadium, but it'll be the visiting team. 1-2 misses just a bit up and away. Seemed like Zan liked that spot, and Brody Briggs did as well.
Yeah, and after the win yesterday, magic number down to 4, trying to secure home field in the 1st round.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch by Zan. just misses outside. Really good pitches, but Bo Rico an even better eye. And for those of you who don't know about the magic number, with a win, any win, the Bucs will drop one game. That magic number goes down one game, and if they win, the Miners lose.
Oilers lose.
The Oilers lose, excuse me. This is for home field. Called strike 3. Bo Rico tried to take another pitch, but Zan Rose wasn't letting that one happen. And that is the second strikeout. First one looking, and going back to that, yes, so this is for not the top of the league, but it's the magic number for home field. So any combination of the Bucs winning and the Oilers losing will be -2 on that magic number. Of course, the magic number can't go up. Dylan Marks swings and misses at that. So if the Oilers win and the Bucs lose, it will just stay the same, of course.
Still a little bit of a ways to go in terms of clinching that number 1 overall seed, with the Miners now tied in the win column, but 3 more losses in the Bucs.
Another called strike. Zan Rose working quickly to Dylan Marks. Marks a double, leadoff double back in the first inning off of Zan Rose. Lots of shakeoffs. The 0-2 from Zan. Check swing. They will appeal and say he did not go.
Didn't seem like he did.
Mm-mm.
But goodbye, Brody. Might as well check. Doesn't hurt.
So wondering if Briggs wanted the fastball, then the changeup, but Zan shook those off and went with the slider. We'll see what he goes to now. Looks like the slider again gets a pop up to first base. Tommy Eisenstadt has that and wraps it in leather for out number 3. Another 1-2-3 for Zan Rose. He sits down the Pilots with ease as we head to the bottom of the third inning, still scoreless in Anchorage. Welcome back. Vic Maslia with Will Hopkins here at Mulcahy Stadium. Josh Hankins leads it off for the Bucs. He's the leadoff batter in today's game. First time being the leadoff batter for the Bucs, and deserved it after the last game, a solo shot, and he wasn't done. Had a base hit as well, drove in 2 runs. Really good night, and also scored 2 runs.
Also walked.
Yep, he was on the base pass.
Yeah. The
oh yeah.
3 stolen bases.
You name it, he did it last night. 0-1 ground ball towards Hefner at short. A nice play. The throw to first is just in time. 1 down.
And those are the type of plays that we've become accustomed to from Luke Hefner. Really surprising to see that error from him, but there, I'd say probably a more difficult play, and he made it look easy.
Definitely. And that ball didn't have the tail that Carlone's did, so it was a little bit easier in that sense, but I think that we might get fooled up here of how that wasn't as easy of a play, that first one, because Hefner, like you just said, is such a sure-handed glove. I'm sure that he thought that was going to be an easy play, and sometimes even the best make mistakes. Cole Carlone takes a called strike. He was the one to ground it towards Hefner. That ended up being an E6. Carlone could not come around, though, and was left on base. 0-1 by Allen. Called strike, really utilizing that outside part of the zone and getting a lot of called strikes.
Yep, and got to be careful pitching outside to Cole Carlone. He can take you to left field, and wind's blowing out that way.
No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch misses outside.
We're talking between innings. Love the music between innings today. Zane Kelly in there with Garvey Rumry and Wyatt Halverson. A little These Words remix from Natasha Benningfield.
1-2, swung on and missed. Looked like a changeup tailing away from Carlone, and quickly 2 outs after the ground out and swinging strikeout.
Yeah, Carlone, a really tough guy to strike out. That's just his 10th of the season in 93 at-bats, so definitely not a good candidate, and it takes a really good pitch to get him out, and Peyton Allen made that pitch.
So Andrew Lamb grabs a bat. Last night, 1 for 3. Base hit and an RBI. Also drew 2 walks. First pitch misses downstairs. And speaking of Andrew Lamb being tough to strike out, just 6 Ks this year.
Unreal.
And 74 at-bats.
Now 75 with the one in the first.
1-0, grounded to Dylan Marks at second, and a tough hop, but he has that one no problem, and Peyton Allen has another 1-2-3, or excuse me, his first 1-2-3 inning as he sits down the Bucs with ease. The top of the order, no problem. 6-3 K and a 4-3 as we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Still scoreless here in Anchorage. Into the 4th inning, still no score here in Anchorage, and taking you through the next couple innings with the play-by-play is Will Hopkins.
Appreciate it. Luke Hefner Jr., Luke Stolga, and Junior Barajas for Xanrose here in the 4th inning. Still scoreless. 1 hit for each side plus an error for the Pilots. And because of that, we're zooming along. 37 minutes in now as Rose delivers the first pitch of the 4th, which is put in play high in the air to center. Max Ross comes in, and he's under it. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Perfect. Exactly what you want to see out of Xan Rose. Was really efficient in his last game. Like I mentioned, gave up 2 runs in about 5 or 6 hits, but went 8 2/3 innings, and it wasn't like he was having a crazy pitch count problem at all. I think he was just shy of 100 pitches. Was it around that?
Somewhere in the 90s. Talked to him a couple of days ago about it as check swing on the first pitch, and Stolga did not go around, and he said he didn't really pitch many more pitches than his other outings, other than obviously the extra warm-up tosses because he pitched so many innings. 1-0's upstairs. Usually sits around those mid-90s in terms of pitch count, at least after the first few outings when he really got warmed up, and was just so efficient. 3-0. I remember he came out for the 8th, and we were saying between innings, if he could throw a super quick inning, 5-6 pitches or something like that, maybe he'd come out for the 9th, and he did exactly that. 3 balls, no strikes, and that one missed upstairs. Looked pretty good from up here.
Yeah, it's just a really tight zone, I think, and I think Xan Rose didn't miss by a lot on any of those pitches at all, so it made us think that each one was getting closer and closer to the strike zone, but I think that there weren't bad calls by the on-plate umpire, just really small misses, minute misses from Rose, but I'm sure Brody Briggs likes all those spots. We'll see if he can hammer the strike zone to start Barajas.
So Stolga at first, now 6 for 7 in stolen base attempts this season. As Junior Barajas digs in, he flew out to Ryan Callahan back in the first inning. That pitch way inside. could be a candidate to double up. Designated hitter, but by trade is a catcher. Will Burns at short, Peyton Knowles at second. Up and away, and suddenly Van Rose struggling a little bit with his command. Like you said, none of the misses by too much. Asks for a new baseball. Hopefully this will bring him some better luck. But 6 straight balls after the 4-pitch walk to Stolga. 2 balls to start off the designated hitter Barajas. Rose hates walking batters. I know that for a fact. 2-0, and that's upstairs.
Yeah, not many pitchers like it, but Rose definitely one to really focus on not being a guy that induces a lot of walks and getting guys to put it in play, and he did that first pitch.
And no walks in 8 2/3 innings last time. There's a strike. Had a few walks in each of the couple previous outings, and he said, "That's not me." That strike looked more like him. 3 balls and 1 strike. Chase Knight on deck, Jacob Coes in the hole. 3-1, runner goes, pitch is swung on and missed. Throw down from Brody Briggs, and that is not going to be in time.
Yeah, a really good jump by Stolga. There was almost no chance at getting him, and a really good throw by Brody Briggs. It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
So, big stolen base. Not only is it number 7 on the season for Stolga, but puts that run in scoring position. No runs so far for either team, and what looks like it could definitely be a pitcher's duel. Every advance of a base means a lot. 3-2 to Barajas. Strike 3! Right on the inside corner. Barajas cannot believe it, but there's a second out and a third strikeout for Zan Rose.
It looked like a guilty smile from Barajas. Was trying to sell that call a little bit, and was definitely a strike on the inner half, and I think he realized once he turned around that it was going to be a strike either way, so shouldn't be too surprised at that call. It was a really good pitch by Zan Rose. Just was hammering the outside part of the plate, decided to go in, and it looks more inside than it actually was.
Second looking strikeout of his 3 total. Chase Knight fouls back the first pitch, grounded out to PK over at second base, his first time to the plate. That was to lead off the second inning. Rose looking to leave Stolga stranded at second. And now in a good spot, 0-2 against Chase Knight.
Yeah, I would really love another quick at-bat. Got spoiled with the first one from Hefner with the 1 pitch, and then 4-pitch walk to Stolga, and almost another walk to Barajas. So would love a quick 1, 2, 3 pitches from Zan Rose.
Asks for the signs over again, and that prompts Chase Knight to call time.
I think that's actually good. I wish Zan had done that originally and just stepped off the mound, collected himself, and I think the batter, Chase Knight, allowed him to do so after calling time.
Pitch number 50 coming from Rose here in a moment. Looking to add a 4th consecutive 0 on the top half of the scoreboard. Here comes the 0-2. Way up and away. So now 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Game 2 of the Mayor's Cup. Bucs taking game 1. Hit over towards left field, but tailing into foul territory and into the bleachers. We'll do it again. Game 1 happening all the way back on the 12th of July, 12 days ago, and this a makeup from that next day, Saturday the 13th. So 11 days since this game was supposed to take place. And finally it's time for game 2. We'll finish the Mayor's Cup with the first game of Friday's doubleheader. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch in the air to left field. Looks like Callahan has a beat on it, and he does. So Luke Stolga stranded at second base. Another 0 on the board for the Pilots, hoping for the first numbers on the board when we come back. Back here at Mulcahy Stadium for the bottom of the fourth inning, just past 12:45 for this super early start. Game 2 of the Mayor's Cup. Will Hopkins and Vic Massia here for you, and Peyton Allen and Ryan Callahan back facing off against one another. Ryan Callahan was hit by a pitch from his former Jayhawk teammate, playing for Kansas together in 2022. For Callahan, went off for 1 year to Johnson County Community College before becoming a Wichita State Shocker. For Allen, who was off to Tyler Junior College, and if I'm not mistaken, on to be a Houston Cougar next. No balls, one strike. Now 1 ball, 1 strike, and Allen is on his way to Houston. Will be in the same conference as Kansas now, with Houston joining the Big 12 last year. Callahan pokes this one foul.
Hope you enjoyed our graphic in between these innings. Jonah, our graphics guy, I guess we could say, our graphics partner. It helps us out with making the pregame game day graphics and some other stuff as well. So appreciate his work, and that goes hand in hand with Stephanie, who is our photographer as well. Well, I shouldn't say our photographer, but we get the photos of the game from her.
Yep. And Ryan Callahan, the face of that photo today. Even count to start the bottom of the fourth, and it'll stay that way. Tommy Eisenstadt on deck, Peyton Knowles in the hole. Bucs looking to get on the board and break this tie, which neither team has been able to do thus far. Just a hit apiece. Count runs full.
And really good at that. You know Callahan wants a hit just as bad as Peyton Allen wants to retire him.
And I'm sure he wants a strikeout specifically.
Yeah, and after both at bats, Callahan wants to see a pitch he can hammer. Peyton Allen, probably a bad taste left in his mouth after hitting Callahan.
3-2. We'll do it again.
It's a long battle, and you got to see them both looking at each other during it.
If the pattern continues, it'll be ball 4 after we've gone foul, ball, foul, ball, foul, ball, foul. Is the ball coming here? It is not. Callahan puts this in play to left, but it is right at Jacob Coase, and there's the first out after a long battle.
Yeah, I think Peyton Allen telling him maybe he thought he almost had him. That ball was tailing away from the left fielder Coase, but able to track it down, and Callahan just a couple centimeters away from barreling up that one.
So now Tommy Eisenstadt digs in. Was scratched yesterday due to illness. Feeling good enough to play today. Flew out to Jack Dorn in right field to get his day started at the plate. Nine runs for the Bucs last time out against the Pilots. None so far today. Eisenstadt looking for the Bucs' second hit, and he's not going to get it here. Another play for Coase.
Yeah, that ball just hung up a lot more than I thought. I think that's what's going on with the wind going out to left field. Saw a lot of balls so far today just really hang up there in the air, and that one did as well for Coase. A couple balls have hung up there for Callahan in left field that we thought might have dropped.
Now Peyton Knowles, who's trying to avoid a 1-2-3 here for the Bucs. Fouls off the first offering from Allen. Allen at 48 pitches, looking for his last out of the fourth, and through 4 innings. Zan Rose at 52, so pretty similar for these two guys. One hit given up by each of them. 0-1 finds the outside corner. Right back to Allen on one hop. Walks halfway to first and makes the toss. It's a 1-2-3 inning. The Bucs go down scoreless. Still no score for either side here in Anchorage as we head to the fifth. Back for the top of the fifth, cruising right along 51 minutes into this one as Rose will face 6, 7, and 8, the first of which is Jacob Coase, who was pretty busy defensively in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch to him. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did. Not a sign we've seen from these first and third base umpires very often, especially lately. Unfortunately, did see it yesterday with Riley Hunsaker up, and actually that was from the home plate umpire.
That was still on my mind about that. Sure, it's on Miss Hunsaker's mind as well. She commented in the feed, but that was an absurd call to say the least. Just not even checking down there in the first place.
No, 0-2, excuse me. Swing and a miss from Jacob Coase, who had no idea where that pitch was going.
Yeah, and I don't know if he was upset at himself or had something to say to the home plate umpire for making that call and not appealing down, but it didn't really look like. Honestly, he was pretty close. It looked like his body went more than his hands.
Maybe a previous pitch he was upset about? I don't know. Seemed like a definite swing to me. Definitely not your conventional swing. First pitch swinging for Dodge, who fouls it away.
And for Zan, second and third inning, 1-2-3s, and just had the one-out walk last inning, was able to work around it. Love for him to focus on just quick at-bats. Had that first pitch fly out to Luke Hefner last inning. Would love something of that sort.
Another check swing on an inside pitch. A little bit surprised that we didn't see Brody Briggs ask for an appeal there. Now he does, and to no avail.
Yeah, the later you wait to do it, we've seen the Bucs wait a good bit sometimes, and other teams have waited a good bit. Just decreases your chances of getting a called strike.
This is a definite swing, and that ball's drilled down the left field line. Luckily, just foul off the fence of the Bucs bullpen.
Yeah, and I think what's helping is that when the air is making these balls stay up in the air a little bit longer. That's what I've been talking about, and all these fly balls to Callahan and Coase. I'm looking at least 3 or 4 fly balls to Callahan and a couple to Burns, which is on that same side, and all of them have hung up there and haven't been super high up in the air. And that one from Dodge, I think, just was in the air too long and allowed it to tail foul.
This time the right side, late break for Andrew Lamb. Is he going to get there? No, off his glove as he makes the diving effort. Jake Dodge rounds first. He's headed for second. The throw there gets off the glove of Will Burns. So I'd assume we'll go down as a double for Jake Dodge. And unfortunate for Lamb, kind of a late break on that one and gave it everything he had. Ball just popped out of his glove.
Yeah, that one was hit definitely higher than some of the other balls that were hit, and that one just went straight down. It totally didn't hang up in the air, and it seems like the looping line drives are the ones that are staying up in the air and getting caught up in that thinner air here. And instead, the balls that are hit higher up are falling down more, if that makes more sense.
Smart play by Dodge, taking the extra base as swing and a miss from Jack Dorn. Lamb had to get up, and he was the one to make that throw to Will Burns. Both hits so far for the Pilots have been doubles. It was Dylan Marks in the first, and now Jake Dodge in the fifth. Fouled off by Dorn.
Yeah, and the good thing about Zan is he's not a pitcher that is going to be upset that Lamb missed that. And some pitchers, even the nicest guys out there would be a little bit upset. You have the ball in your glove almost, and it is such a tough play. But he's the type of guy that if Lamb comes over and even dares to apologize to him, Zan Rose is, of course, going to be super understanding. He knows that he's probably got to do a little bit of a better job of getting the ball in the air that might have a better chance of getting out to Lamb. And I feel like Zan Rose would put that more on himself than anybody in the field. So you can expect that while that play was happening, he was already gearing up for a potential another at-bat and didn't totally expect Lamb to make it.
Rose definitely not the type of guy to make excuses. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch to Jack Dorn. Too far outside, and with the limited base runners, would expect the third base coaches for each side to be aggressive. It's head coach Rich Price for the Pilots. We were talking between innings. Didn't get the memo on the hat selection for his Pilots. Everybody and the other coaches wearing the plane on their heads. His just that old Braves 70s A. But would expect him to be aggressive with Dodge. In the air to right, another late break for Lamb. Luckily, Knowles is out there and makes the play, but Lamb actually slipped on that one, and luckily it was shallow enough for Peyton Knowles to make the play.
Yeah, he totally fell on his bottom, and there was no chance that Lamb was going to get up and be able to sprint in and make the play. So, not sure if some of the grass over there is a little bit slick, or if he's making just crazy sudden movements that are causing his cleats to slip out from underneath him. I don't know, but
He's looking around.
Yeah, Lamb's just sure-handed fielder out there, and without that slip on the ball by Jake Dodge, it would have been 3 outs already.
First pitch to Rico's outside. Dodge still at second base. Just the third base runner for the Pilots. 2 hits and 1 walk. 1-0. 1 hop and a good play by Burns to watch that all the way in. Good throw, and Eisenstadt grabs that for the 3rd out. Double by Dodge is no problem. Another 0 for the Pilots. Bucs coming back to the plate. Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, bottom of the 5th inning. No scores so far in Game 2 of the Mayor's Cup. Max Ross, a good guy to get things started to change that, has the lone hit for the Bucs. That was a liner down the left field line. As he takes a strike on the outside corner. Yeah, no other hits for anybody other than Max Ross. See if he can get something going, get those legs moving. Count evens 1-1. Just an hour in and already in the bottom of the 5th inning. Super quick game. Wednesday game at noon. Now just past 1 o'clock Alaska time, 5 o'clock Eastern.
And Allen's still working on the outside part of the zone to lefties, so lefty batters for the Bucs are going to have to do a good job of seeing that pitch, let it travel and get deep and hit it into the opposite field.
This time it's on the ground to the right side, charging Dylan Marks, and there's the 1st out. 1 up, 1 down in the home half of the 5th, and now Brody Briggs up to the plate. He bounced one to the pitcher, Allen, for a ground out his first time to the plate. Pitchers duel, Zan Rose and Peyton Allen, both pitching really well so far. Just 3 hits total in this game. As that misses low.
And the Bucs a day off tomorrow, but after that day off, they've got a lot of games and not a lot of days, so have to be prepared to use a lot of pitchers and be ready and have all those arms ready to go for these doubleheaders to come.
Yep, couple doubleheaders in the next week, and as the Bucs finish up regular season play, then as of now, a day off before the playoffs. Who knows if rain could change that. 1-1 hit hard to right, but it's high up in the air. And because of that, Jack Dorn has it for the 2nd out.
Yeah, the balls that are hit that high, at least today more so than other days, have just come straight down, it seems. The air's just not really messing with it at all. When the ball is almost a looping line drive, it hangs up in the air weirdly, is able to travel further and get to these outfielders who are usually playing far back.
Just 3 base runners for each side. Will Burns hoping to change that as he takes a strike. 2 hits and a walk for the Pilots. 1 hit by pitch, and 1 error for the Pilots, giving the Bucs that third base runner. As count evens to Will Burns, 1-1. '60th pitch coming here from Peyton Allen, and Burns can't get anything on it.
Burns' rough game yesterday, just another over, and was pulled from it. I shouldn't say pulled from it, but was taken out of the game to give Rob Vandergrift a chance to come in and make his first appearance.
Goes the other way with it, but 1 hop. Jake Dodge has it, and he steps on the bag. Lightning fast 1-2-3 inning yet again for Peyton Allen, and another 0 on the scoreboard. We head to the 6th with no runs in Game 2 of the Mayor's Cup. Top of the 6th inning, still no score. Vic Massio, Will Hopkins here in Anchorage, Alaska, Mulcahy Stadium for the last meeting between these two teams, with the Bucs serving as the home team. Game 2 of the Mayor's Cup, doubleheader between these two on Friday, the first of which will be Game 3 of the Mayor's Cup, whether the Bucs clinch it today or not. As Zan Rose faces off against Dylan Marks for the 3rd time. Doubled in the first and flew out to Eisenstadt last time to the plate. 67 pitches for Zan Rose. 68th misses downstairs. Top 3, Marks, Hefner, and Stolga for the Pilots. Will also be the top 3 for the Bucs in the home half of this 6th. 1-1 just a bit downstairs, maybe an inch or two off the plate as well. Both teams looking for some more base runners, 3 for each side, and all 6 in total stranded. As 2-1 is a strike, evens the count.
For Rich Price, I'm sure he is just begging his offense to get going. Probably doesn't want to go into the bullpen with a scoreless game or a tie game in general, because the bullpen's just not been as good as the starters.
And talking about good starters, there's a swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5 for Zan Rose, and his patented wave of that right arm in the air to say, go back to the dugout, Dylan Marks.
Going back to that point, Peyton Allen, of course, just in his 3rd start. But Tyler Stewart, one of their main go-to guys as a starter, 2.17 ERA. Drew Welk has also started 3 games, 2.08 ERA. David Hefner has a 4.38 ERA, but the relievers tend to have a higher ERA on this team.
David's brother Luke in the box now takes a strike, 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts. He has the lone error in today's game, not something we're used to from him, that's for sure. One of the smoother shortstops in this league. Now in a hole 0-2. Rose looking for another quick
That
inning.
ball is brought to you by New
Would
Gallery.
love to see how deep he can go after going 8 2/3 last time out. Last Thursday in the 3-2 win against the Oilers. Shake to yes to Brody Briggs, and now rings the glove up and delivers, and just a little bit outside. 5 strikeouts so far for Zan Rose. 8 ground balls, 5 fly balls, and it's interesting because, oh, excuse me, that's wrong. 3 ground balls, 8 fly balls. That makes a lot more sense. Seen a ton of balls in the air. Grounder up the middle, and nobody's going to get to this one. It's the first single of the day for the Pilots. 3rd hit after 2 doubles, and Luke Hefner Jr.'s on first base with 1 out here in the 6th.
And I would not be surprised to see Peyton Allen going way longer than just the 5 innings he's already gone, because this is a Pilots team who has back-to-back double headers tomorrow and Friday. They play the Miners for 2 tomorrow and then us for 2 on Friday. So with a light pitching staff to begin with, the Pilots are really going to have to be careful and stealthy about using their pitchers when and where.
Yeah, needing 28 innings over the next couple of days. Brutal scheduling for them. Hefner over there at first. Rose checks on him. Hefner just 1 for 4 in stolen base attempts this season. Stolga at the plate. He's flown out to Peyton Knowles and walked. As that one misses. Actually flew out to Will Burns, but was on the second base side, or the right side of second base. Rose trying to work around the 1-out base hit. Maybe the Bucs can turn 2 for the first time this afternoon. That pitch stays too far inside. Barring a double play, Junior Barajas would come to the plate. He struck out looking his last time up. Rose focused on Stolga though. 2 balls, no strikes. Grounder to Rose, and he gloves it masterfully. Goes to first for the sure out, and took a look at Brody Briggs after, maybe saying, I thought about it, but definitely wanted to take the sure out. Did a great job to even get that ball into his glove. Had to hop up to get it.
Yeah, talk about a snow cone. Zan Rose just barely getting that glove into his mitt. I think because it was chopped so high, didn't have a chance to get the runner heading to second base, but of course just getting the first out and any out in that situation is really impressive.
Would have been close for sure. Think he might have had a chance. Don't think he would have been able to turn 2. So now Hefner in scoring position for Barajas, who's flown out and struck out. Briggs corrals that out of the dirt.
Also think that with the snow cone, he had to take a double take and make sure that he actually had the ball in his glove. I think that also killed his chances of getting Hefner, but Hefner is quick.
1-0. Out to center field. Max Ross has a beat on it, and there's the 3rd out for the Bucs. Hefner stranded at second base. It's another 0. Who's going to score first? Hopefully the Bucs when we come back for the bottom half of the 6th inning. Home half of the 6th inning. Still scoreless here in Anchorage, Alaska. Just 7 base runners between these two teams. And if I'm not mistaken, no two of them in the same inning for the same team. I don't think we've seen two guys on at once.
First inning, Carlone and Callahan, but that's it.
So it's been a minute. As Josh Hankins digs in, he's a good guy to get a rally started, especially after his big day yesterday. Peyton Allen, 61 pitches prior to this, and his 62nd is hit way up in the air. And when it comes down, Jake Dodge has it in his glove.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's really important for the Bucs not to go down 1-2-3 back-to-back innings, 3 straight innings, being retired 1-2-3 by Peyton Allen, who's just been really comfortable in finding a groove. And once you let these pitchers find a groove, it seems like they just do a really good job of settling in. We've seen Hostetler, Timmerman, guys in the minors, and even Bucs pitchers as well, just really settling in after maybe struggling a little bit. And back in the first, that was his only real struggle.
First pitch put in play again. Eefner over to Dodge, and 2 pitches, 2 outs.
And I was going to say this inning is really important for the Bucs because even though I said that the Pilots bullpen is not the best and not as sharp as some of the starters are, you still want to try to get Peyton Allen out of this game because, like I said, back-to-back doubleheaders coming up, and 3 or 4 games before today's game for the Pilots, they've got to really be careful with utilizing pitchers, and I'm sure they want to go use Peyton Allen for as long as they can, and they're probably not scared to use him all 9 innings, Will.
Yeah, and especially with 2 pitches so far this inning, that helps their case. Lamb wisely, I think, probably taking no matter what on that first pitch. No action that I see, or it looks like someone started tossing maybe Chad Gurney.
Yeah, he's been
there
for a while. I'm wondering if he's just getting some tune-up. I've seen him in the bullpen a lot, but he has only come out 1 time since he started as a starter.
Zan Rose sitting at 80 pitches, so would expect him to maybe come out for 1 more inning. Who knows? Allen at 65, so more than likely we'll see him in the 7th. 1 ball, 1 strike to Andrew Lamb, Bucs right fielder. And he watches a strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, Gurney's mostly been used as a starter. We saw him coming out of the bullpen in June at the early end of the season, but I've only seen him come out of the bullpen once since, I would say, the first couple of weeks.
Too far outside. Deuce is wild here in the bottom of the 6th. No runs for either side. Bucs trying to win the Mayor's Cup for the first time since 2018. Pilots trying to even it up at 1 game apiece. Wow, super close pitch, and Andrew Lamb lives to see another one, and that one couldn't have been more than an inch or 2 away.
Yeah, and Allen's probably really upset about that because he's been pounding the outside part of the plate, and he's been getting that call, and it's not been a crazy give to Peyton Allen. It's been a pretty easy give from that home plate umpire, and he just didn't get it there, and now suffers the walk, so that spoils the 1-2-3.
And first walk of the game issued by Peyton Allen. The Bucs will take it. Lamb will take it. Now Callahan gets a chance in the 6th inning with a teammate aboard at first.
Yep. Big position here. Even with 2 outs. We've seen the Bucs start a 2-out rally multiple times before, and like I said, want to just try to get that pitch count up for Allen, get him out of the game.
High in the air to center field. Luke Stolga coming in, and 1 pitch retires Ryan Callahan. All 3 outs of this inning on 1 pitch as Andrew Lamb stranded at first base. Still scoreless through 6 innings here at Mulcahy Stadium. We head to the 7th.
Now batting, number 13.
Welcome back, top of the 7th inning. And now for the play-by-play to carry us home, Vic Maslia.
Thank you, Will. Zandros still out there at 80 pitches right on the dot. Looking for a clean inning just like Peyton Allen's. Or a quick inning, I should say. All 3 outs, just 1 pitch took care of the batter. And the first pitch to the batter, Chase Knight, is a ball inside. That one is also low and in. For Zan, we're used to seeing him go at least 90 pitches, and whether that's in 7-8 innings like it might be tonight, or today, excuse me, or it might be 8 2/3 like it was in his last start.
We've seen him go 6 innings a good number of times, and already working into the 7th here.
Yep, as of late has gone deeper into ball games. It's just gotten stronger as this summer goes on, as this is hit really hard into right field, and that's going to get down and go all the way to the wall. Rounding first and heading into second is Chase Knight. Here comes the throw. It's strong, but it's just a tad late from Ryan Callahan. It's a leadoff double for Chase Knight, the second leadoff double for the Pilots in this game.
Yeah, 3rd double in total. They have only 1 single, so it's a bit odd to see. And so far, Rose has been able to work around those doubles, and hopefully the same thing here. It's just so odd to see a team that can't really make the most solid contact is able to line a few up.
So that'll bring up Jacob Coes. Buyout and a strikeout on his line so far. Just 120. So we started at noon here. We are rapidly getting through this game as that one's a called strike.
A little bit surprised not to see Coase showing bunt.
And with how quick the game has gone, surprising to see Zan Rose with 80 pitches. Of course, the walks do not help, but there haven't been many of them. Just the one. Just the one to Stolga. Thought we were going to see one to Barajas, but he was able to work back. A couple long at-bats, I would say, not helped his case. It's another called strike. Peyton Allen's definitely been the luckier one when it comes to getting quick outs during at-bats. And Rose had to work a little bit harder to these Pilots batters. Bucks batters a little anxious to hit. Quickly ahead 0-2 to Coes. The pitch from Rose is fouled off his shin.
And another reason why Allen's pitch count is lower, he only has 2 strikeouts. Zan Rose with 5, so that'll bring it up a little bit.
One plate umpire going to give Coes a second to regain some feeling in his lower extremities.
Looks like he was kind of rubbing around that left knee.
Chad Gurney's still out of the bullpen. Wondering if he'll come out again. Wondering if he'll start again, considering that his last appearance came out of the bullpen and we've seen him warming up a good bit. Maybe he's at an innings limit where they just want to use him out of the bullpen, but of course then you're losing a starter, but you could also regain a starter in Elijah Dew, who has started 1 game for the Bucks and is looking to start another one very soon. 1 ball, 2 strikes from Rose. Chase Knight at second. The pitch is hammered into right field again. That one's going to be over Callahan's head, and it's going to hit the wall. Excuse me, that's Andrew Lamb out there in right field. He's going to fire it in. Coming around to score is Chase Knight, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Pilots.
Another double. That's now the 4th of the game for the Pilots. This one a huge one, bringing in that first run of the game for either side, and just hit on a line. Really was going to be a really, really tough play for Lamb to make over there.
So back-to-back extra base hits, and 4 out of the 5 hits in today's game have been extra base hits. All been doubles. They've just been gap to gap. Excuse me, once again, that is Andrew Lamb out there in right field, so he's tracked those balls down and done a good job. Done the best that he can do. Looks like Tim Montez is going to come out and have a talk at least with Zan Rose. Gurney's been warming up for a while, so he should be ready if Montez wants to go ahead and make the switch.
Looks like they are making a change. Saw Montez with a little point over there and a look right now as well.
So still a really good outing from Zan Rose. I shouldn't say just gives up the 1 run. His line is still open with the runner aboard at second in the form of Jacob Coe. So it looks like it is going to be Chad Gurney, maybe on for some longer relief. We'll tell you more about him as we take a little bit of a break. Big Massia, Will Hopkins back with you. Chad Gurney out on the hill for the Bucs. Unfortunately, Zan Rose giving up that one run makes it a 1-0 game for the Pilots. And with how this game has been going, it is troublesome because the Bucs have been having trouble scoring runs. But for Chad Gurney, he comes into this game making his 7th appearance. 3 of them have been starts. The other 3 out of the bullpen, 2-1, 22 innings pitched, 12 hits, 8 earned runs. Good for a 3.22 ERA. And he faces Jake Dodge to start with 1 on and nobody out. That runner in scoring position. First pitch misses outside.
Gurney's last time out was on Sunday, worked the 9th inning in that tight 4-3 loss to the Miners. Inning started with an error and then that runner coming all the way home after Gurney balked with him on third base.
Hoping for some better luck here against the Pilots. Of course, that game wasn't against the Pilots, but in general.
But against the Pilots, he made one of his starts and picked up a win. 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts in 5 innings. That was all the way back on June 23rd, a 13-2 mercy rule win for these Bucs. So he has had success against this team.
And a lot of run support. Hopefully he can get some run support after he gets out of this top half of the 7th. Foul ball again by Jake Dodge. Dodge so far today, ground out and a fly out. Or excuse me, a strikeout and a double for Jake Dodge. That's Jack Dorn with the ground out and a fly out. Jack Dorn is on deck. Dodge in hole 1-2. Gurney fires this one up and away, and just wondering now if that's it for Gurney starting now that he's come out of the bullpen 2 times late in the season. Don't think that he would be able to start for a while now that he's come out of the bullpen. And
yeah, at least 3 or 4 days.
2 balls, 2 strikes. That one's downstairs. Or maybe pitching him now and then going to give him a long rest and maybe throw him for a starter in one of the playoff games, but it'd be hard to imagine how to work that out. Ernie, obviously a really good pitcher, good starter for the Bucs, but would think that some other guys would come before him for starting the first couple playoff games. 3-2, swung on and missed. Went with the breaking ball, buried it back foot, and that's the first out.
A huge first out. Yes, the Pilots have already scored a run, but that runner on second and Jake goes such an important run because a 1-run game and a 2-run game, big difference, and obviously if it gets to anything more than that, Bucs bats have struggled today, want to make that deficit as small as possible.
Yep, got to score at least 1 run to win anyway, so Bucs might as well just go ahead and get that over with, but 2 runs is obviously a little bit harder. Jack Dorn takes the ball outside. Starting to get a little bit brighter here, not too overcast. Only 1:30 in the daytime, so a lot more sunlight left. Haven't played this early in any of our games. 1-0, nice breaking ball called strike. After Dorn, it'll be Bo Rico. Bernie would like to save the top half of the order for the 8th inning. 1-1 is swung on and missed. One with another breaking ball, buried at back foot. Same pitch he got Jake Dodge on. And 1 pitch away from getting Jack Dorn. Righty comes set, takes a look at Jacob Coase at second. Now the delivery. Swung on and missed. With a pitch on the outside part of the plate, and Dorn could not reach it, so back-to-back swinging strikeouts. Easy enough for Chad Gurney. Now Bo Rico heads to the plate.
So far, so good for Gurney. Looked really sharp out there so far, pounding the zone, exactly what you want to see. And whether it's strikeout or not, would love to see him take care of Rico and send things back to the Bucs bats.
First pitch to Bo Rico is popped up, foul ground on the left side, and it's going to be out of play.
And seeing that foul ball, I'd love to see the Bucs foul off some pitches when we get to the bottom of the 7th. Work Peyton Allen's pitch count up and get into that bullpen. Definitely favor the Bucs in a bullpen battle.
0-1 count to Rico. Burns lightly holding on Coase at second. That one is up and away. And with the 3 starts for Gurney, it made you think that, well, maybe with 2, that was just a couple of spot starts here and there. But the 3, definitely made you think he was a part of that rotation and he would definitely have a fourth start in him. Reason he didn't have more before that was just because he started in the bullpen. A lot of guys did that as well. 1-1, fouled away. Carlone Halverson, some of the only guys to make immediate starts. Guys like Garvey, Chad, Zan all came out of the bullpen in their first couple of outings. I think Zan just had the one outing in relief.
Just hadn't pitched in a while. That was mostly why.
1-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Ooh, and no, says the second base umpire.
That's what it looked like to me. Brody Briggs obviously thought otherwise, but looked to me from up here, similar view to what you have at home, that Rico just held up.
So deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down here in the top half of the 7th inning. Pilots already got 1 run, looking to add on. Bucs looking to shut them down. Chad Gurney brings the 2-2. Right down A Street, called strike 3. And how about striking out the side after coming into the game? He leaves a Pilot stranded at second base as we head to the 7th inning stretch here, and more importantly, the bottom half of the 7th, where the Bucs trying to tie this one up or take the lead. 1-0. Pilots lead when we come back. Bottom half of the 7th inning. On to pitch now for the Glacier Pilots is Dylan Marks, who is actually second baseman for the first 6 frames and is now on the mound. He is in his 6th appearance, the 5 before today's, 1-0 with a save, actually. 16 innings pitched, 11 hits given up, but just the 1 earned run. Good enough for a .56 ERA. I'm wondering why they don't pitch him more.
And he hasn't pitched against the Bucs yet, so this is our first look at him on the mound, as he delivers outside of Tommy Eisenstadt. Last time on the mound was 13 days ago, July 11th, 4-1 win against the Miners. Worked the 8th and 9th innings for a 6-out save, giving up 1 hit and 1 walk with 2 strikeouts.
Fires back-to-back balls to Tommy Eisenstadt, and I'm sure the Bucs are just happy that Peyton Allen's finally out of the game.
I'm happy. He pitched a gem.
2-0, misses outside again. Saw his warm-up pitches. Fastball, changeup, and a curveball. I'm not sure if he has anything else besides those 3 pitches. Could definitely, so I was looking at the stats also while I was looking at him warm up. 3-0 to Eisenstadt. Keeps the bat on his shoulders, but takes a called strike.
And for the Bucs, just get a base runner. Have only had 4 so far here in this one. Only 1 hit. Just Max Ross.
3-1 from Marks is nowhere near. That is a 5-pitch walk in the first leadoff batter aboard
Now
for the
batting
Bucs.
number 25 from Gonzaga
Yep,
University,
Tommy Eisenstadt
Peyton
doing
Knowles.
what we're used to from him, finding a way to get onto first base. And Peyton Knowles knows a thing or two about that. Hasn't done it so far today, but if Marks can't find his command, Knowles will likely be over there.
He's definitely the biggest Buck to exploit a command issue from a pitcher. And he squares to bunt. And he's going to lay this one down, but it goes foul. Good job by Chase Knight letting it go foul.
Yep, smart play by Knight. Don't think he was going to get Knowles if he got to that.
Thought that he might have the correct backspin that would kind of send it back towards Bo Rico, but still make it tough for him to grab and would end up in a single. But of course, with that angle, not only do you have the backspin, but you also have a little side spin, and that's what caused it to roll foul. So we'll see if he squares again. We'll check on Eisenstadt. He's all right.
Eisenstadt 4 for 4 in stolen base attempts. Not a guy you typically think of for the Bucs in terms of snagging a bag.
Seems like all the times he's done, he's timed it perfectly. As Peyton Knowles can't hold up his swing. It's 0-2.
Yep, trying to lay one down, didn't pull it back, and didn't get anything on it.
I think this is where Peyton Knowles' strengths really show, because he does such a good job of getting himself on base. He could do so with an 0-2 count. He takes that one downstairs. He could do so by working the count back, getting a walk, a bloop hit too, finding green grass. He hits the ball hard, but he's not a big gap-to-gap type of guy. He's just more focused about putting it in play and trying to find some green grass and get himself aboard. 1-2. A ground ball out to second. This could be trouble. Sanders to second for one, on to first, double play. And the Pilots get a much-needed 4-6-3.
Yeah, it was about worst case scenario. Unfortunate from Knowles. Did a good job putting it in play like we talked about. And just a slow roller to Troy Sanders, and pretty easy start to his day in the field.
So that'll bring up Max Ross. Bases cleared and 2 down. Threat quickly eliminated. First pitch he sees, beautiful breaking ball. It's that curve for a called strike. Bucks just the one hit, that's it. Another called strike, this time on the outside corner. Now Dylan Marks just one pitch away from getting out of this inning, facing the minimum. 0-2's in the dirt. Bucks just running out of outs here. We've said that many times before yesterday's game. 6-0, just a breath of fresh air from the bats, but back into their hole again. 1-2. Chopper over the head of Marks, but Luke Hefner has it and fires a strike to first to get Max Ross, a really speedy runner. But a good play by Hefner, and Dylan Marks exits, facing the minimum here as we head to the 8th inning. Still a 1-0 lead for the Pilots. Welcome back. Top half of the 8th inning. The Pilots looking to add on. It is Dylan Marks who comes up to the plate after a nice 1-2-3 facing the minimum Bucs batters, and a big 4-6-3 double play mixed into there is the reason why. So he leads it off like he has been doing all day against Chad Gurney now on the hill. First pitch, big sweeping breaking ball and a big swing and miss from Marks.
And with seeing Marks up at the plate, that means that means that Troy Sanders, who was recently substituted to play second base, isn't going to be hitting.
Called strike on the upper part of the zone.
We weren't sure exactly how that switch was made, and in the end, it's Marks keeping that leadoff spot.
0-2. Hits it towards short. Will Burns deep in the hole, long throw, and it's not in time. Gave it everything he had, but Dylan Marks, speedy, is able to get there for a leadoff single.
Yep, and I guess that's why they're keeping him in there, speedy guy. I suppose that there's a chance that Sanders could be batting fourth and that the Pilots could be rolling with no designated hitter. We'll see that in a moment, but hopefully Luke Hefner can give the Bucs a ground ball.
That's probably what they're doing. I still can't wrap my head around the fact that someone could be playing in the field and not be batting. This is a very youth thing to do, high school, middle school, as this is hit to center field. That's going to be a base hit. Dylan Marks takes a big turn around second, but he'll hold up there as Max Ross gets to it and fires it in. Back-to-back hits, 2-on with nobody out.
Yeah, Gurney looked so good last inning, and obviously the ball from Marks not hit the best, just super deep in the hole. That one from Hefner hit a little bit more solidly, and Gurney came in with traffic in the 7th, now making some of his own.
Luckily for the Bucs, Andrew Rudd was already tossing before this inning started, so he should be ready soon if Gurney has more struggles. Corners in, preparing for a potential bunt from Luke Stolga. Gurney ready. Stolga will square. Holt takes it back. Briggs fires to second. And Mark's able to get back there just in time. If that throws any lower, it's going to be a bang-bang play.
And it looks like Troy Sanders is actually on deck, so the Pilots will be going without a DH the rest of the game, which is no problem if Mark stays on the mound, but they make a pitching change, might have to see some pinch hitters.
Yep, and I expected that, just couldn't wrap my head around the fact that someone could field and not hit. Stolga squares again, it's a called strike. Bucs down by 1. Been almost a month. It's been over a month since they lost the Pilots. This is grounded to Hankins. He's going to step on third, throws to first, but it's not in time. Wondering if he should have tried to go with the double play route and fired it to second onto first. But then again, that's not a guaranteed double play, and if it's not, you run the risk of first and third with just one down. But here, first and second, you still set up the force out.
Yeah, you do, and I just want to commend Tommy Eisenstadt because Hankins still made the throw. Don't think he had much of a chance of turning two the way he tried to. It was way off the line, and Eisenstadt did a good job to get that ball.
So Troy Sanders, first at bat, first swing is a swing and a miss. So now, like Will said, no DH spot used. Sanders coming in playing second base. See if Dylan Marks goes the rest of the way. Hasn't pitched in a good bit. 0-1's fouled back.
That foul ball was brought by Associated Builders and Contractors of Alaska.
Bucs just 6 outs left to try to score a run and tie this one up, but have to get out of this inning first. Hopefully not allowing another run as this is popped up just beyond first base. They're going to call an infield fly as Eisenstadt wraps that ball up, 2 down.
And so pivotal that Gurney keeps us at just a 1-run deficit. Plays like that certainly help. Good job getting that super weak contact as he forced Sanders to swing under it.
So 2 down quickly after the back-to-back singles. That'll bring up Chase Knight. He had the big leadoff double that eventually scored the first, or came around to score the first run. Jacob Coase knocked him in with the double himself just in the next couple pitches. Called strike to Chase Knight. looking for an RBI to add to his runs scored. 1 for 3, fly out and a ground out and a fly out, as well as that double. Count evens up 1-1. So even with Gurney out here right now, and even if he does get through this inning, with Andrew Rudd in the bullpen, could probably expect him to come out for the 9th. 1-1 fouled away, hoping that that is a save situation for Andrew Rudd, or at least a tie ball game type of situation.
100%. Bucs just one hit today. Thought that the team had turned a corner yesterday with 8 hits, but unfortunately that corner appearing not to be too permanent.
And off a team, the Pilots, who they've hit really well. That 1-0 loss the first game of the season is really the only time that they played the Pilots and haven't been a dominant offense, I would say. 1-2, breaking ball misses outside.
Yeah, they've put up 9 against the Pilots one time, 8 another time, 13 in just 7 innings, 6, 7. So yeah, they've scored well against this team.
Deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Gurney trying to retire Chase Knight. The pitch, just a bit upstairs, and it will be a full count. Runners will get a head start. Base hit will almost definitely score the runner at second, Dylan Marks. That'd be helping himself out if he goes out for another inning's worth of work. I'd probably expect that's the case if Troy Sanders has taken the DH spot and the fact that they've got back-to-back doubleheaders coming up. Payoff pitch from Gurney. Popped up center field. Max Ross shades to his right just a bit, and he brings that one in for out number 3. So Gurney works around the back-to-back hits to start the inning. A ground out and back-to-back flyouts does the trick. We head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Just 6 outs left for the Bucs, down 1-0 still. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Brody Briggs due up first. Will Burns and then Josh Hankins. Bar any changes. Doesn't look like it. Seeing Burns on the on-deck circle and Hankins in the hole. So 8, 9, and 1 due up against Dylan Marks, who's still out there. Faced the minimum after the leadoff walk was erased by a 4-6-3 double play.
Gotta get something going. It's been such a quiet game at the plate for these Bucs.
You think that the leadoff walk would help as Briggs lines this down the right field line. That's a fair ball. It's going to head all the way to the wall. Briggs takes a big turn around first. He's going to stroll into second base, and it's a leadoff double as he's telling the dugout to come on.
Exactly what the Bucs needed, an immediate runner in scoring position. Thanks to Brody, Briggs destroyed that ball down the line.
Now batting number 9 for Texas Tech University.
Great job by Brody Briggs. Let's see if Will Burns can follow that up. Wouldn't it be great? Just 2 pitches. I think we were about to say the same thing. Just 2 pitches and already a run coming around the score.
I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised to see him lay one down, but okay. I like your idea more.
Okay. We'll see. Will Burns struggling at the plate. It might not be a bad idea, Will. I like that take. He is going to square. Pulls it back, but it's a called strike. It was a breaking ball, so it would have been tough.
Especially that high in the zone. Would have been a tough pitch and could have easily seen him popping that one up with the way it was located.
Ideally, want to try to get it down the third base line, give Chase Knight a big decision to make with Brody Briggs coming from second. Burns squares again, and it was fouled away. So 0-2, most likely going to swing away, but there are no outs, Will.
We have seen some Bucs players try to bunt with 2 strikes. Obviously not their call, but I'd prefer to see him swing away.
Marks comes set. Just one more pitch. He's thinking as Burns squares again, but pulls it back. I'm going to say he did not go. There's no appeal. Home plate umpire's going to make the decision himself. Nope. Going to appeal down, but they say he didn't go and pulled it back. Probably the right call.
Yeah. I don't know. Just never been a huge fan of bunting with 2 strikes.
I normally would agree with you, Will, but I feel like with Burns' struggles at the plate, maybe it's just a good moment to do it. I don't know, though. 1-2, squares again, pulls it back again.
And especially with him trying to move a runner from second to third as opposed to first or second, if he swings away, you're not really at risk of the Pilots turning too. So I don't see a huge downside.
2 balls, 2 strikes. We'll see what Burns does. Squares again, and he gets it down. A good job. Mark's going to have one play, and it's to first. He makes it, but the runner Briggs moves to third and standing just 90 feet away.
Yeah, great job by Burns. Made me eat my words and gets the bunt down and knows beauty.
And that's what I was thinking, no shade to Will Burns. We talk about how great he is in the field, and he's a good hitter, just has been struggling as of late. And with his strikeout rate and being down already 0-2 in the count, I was just worried that he might have walked himself into a strikeout either way. So Josh Hankins bats.
If you're Hankins, just got to find a way, whatever it takes to get this ball to the outfield.
Infield is in, trying to save that precious runner from scoring in Brody Briggs. 1-0 pitch, right down A Street for a called strike.
1 out here. Obviously, the sac fly is in play.
Infield straight up. No huge holes, I would say. 1-1, misses in the dirt.
Good stop by Rico.
Hankins, a good guy to have up in this situation. We talk about how the game just never moves too fast for him. He's always comfortable and just very calm and relaxed in the moment you need to be with the tying run standing aboard at 90 feet away. Great stop by Bo Rico behind home plate. Saved a wild pitch and a run from scoring. Brody Briggs, being that he's a catcher, you would expect that him not be one of the fastest guys, but he does have some wheels, so a wild pitch will likely score him. 3-1, hitters count. The pitch misses downstairs. Runners at the corners, 1 down.
Yeah, and that definitely helps the Bucs' chances of taking the lead this inning, but you can make the argument that it hurts their chances of tying this game up because now the double play is in order.
So that will prompt a mound visit. Coming out there is Tim Massey, the pitching coach. And we'll have a talk with his infield and his pitcher, Dylan Marks, and we can assume that there just probably won't be a pitching change even if the Bucs do score. Back-to-back doubleheaders, already playing 2 or 3 games coming into this one today. They need to save their pitchers, have a gauntlet of a schedule coming up to end the season.
And I believe that's actually pitching coach Jordan Brink, who used to play for the Bucs, so you know that this Mayor's Cup means a little bit more to him than it already means a little bit extra to all of these players.
Yeah, Jordan Brink out there. My apologies, Tim Massey, another assistant coach. Yeah, not that he might have been the pitching coach, but Jordan Brink is taking on that role. So Rich Price will not make a pitching change. Thought that might be the case with their schedule coming up, but it will bring up Cole Carlone. Perfect guy to have up in this situation.
Definitely, and the only thing though is Cole does hit the ball on the ground a good bit. Don't want to see that here with Hankins over at first base. Would love to see Carlone just get that ball into the outfield.
The lefty faces the righty, Dylan Marks. The first pitch he sees is in the dirt. Another good stop by Bo Rico. There's been a wall back there.
And if you're the Bucs, there could be some thought to Josh Hankins running around over there at first because he does represent the go-ahead run, and if it's played poorly, Briggs could come home, and we know Hankins is fast at the same time. Don't want to take it away from Carlone and take that sac fly out of the card. So an interesting choice for Coach Sanagorski.
Dylan Marks almost falling off the mound there on that throw back to first. That would have been a jailbreak if that ball got away from Jake Dodge. 1-0, called strike on the outer half. Andrew Rudd still out there warming up for the Bucs. So he is the most likely candidate to get the call for the top of the 9th inning. Like we said earlier, hopefully a save situation, but the Bucs got some work to do. Still down 1-0. A tying run 90 feet away. 1-1 pitch. Another called strike. A good breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. Haven't seen Carlone attacking that outside part of the plate bat-wise like he does usually.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really tough pitch to do much with, though. Really well done for Marks.
Next one misses low and away. So far, Carlone has reached via an error by Luke Hefner back in the first, and then a strikeout in the third, and a ground out back in the sixth. So quiet day so far for him, and looking to have some fireworks here in the 8th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. See if they send Hankins. They do not. That one's in the dirt. Hankins is going to go, and a really good read on that ball in the dirt.
100%. Great job by Hankins. Now you take away the double play, which is huge, and you also bring that go-ahead run into scoring position.
So the infield moves back in, everyone on the edge of the grass. Of course, no double play opportunity means the middle infield, and Hefner and Sanders will creep up with the corners. 3-2. Line drive foul. Right size, wrong shape for Carlone just a little bit early.
Yeah, a little bit early. Couldn't wait long enough. Eyes probably lit up with that pitch, and would have loved to see him wait just a sliver of a second.
Luke Hefner is cheating way towards second base and is allowing a huge hole in between him and Chase Knight at third base. 3-2 again. Just gets a piece of it foul. Good fight by Carlone.
Yeah, and those holes on each side were even bigger earlier, with Knight holding Briggs at third, Dodge holding Hankins at first, and Sanders and Hefner playing closer to second base to try to turn 2. But even still, like you said, a decent-sized hole on the left side, and we've seen Carlone go that way a number of times, but I think he'll be trying to get the ball in the air as opposed to on the ground here.
Big fight for Carlone. He'll see another payoff pitch. Marks brings it. A ground ball over the head of Marks. Great play by Sanders, but scoring is Brody Briggs, and we've got a tie ball game.
Yeah, just a great job putting the ball in play. Sanders got to it pretty quickly and then just couldn't make the transfer. I think it's going to have to be scored an error. He gets to that ball, it's in his glove. He couldn't get it out of his glove. He's got to get that out of his glove.
I agree. Such a tough play. But you're right, you can't really give him a hit. It was fully in his glove. Maybe if he just got a piece of it and it just hit off the leather, would have been a base hit. But I agree with that call, Will. That's a really tough decision, but I think he made the right decision. That'll bring up Andrew Lamb after the error, and that is going to plunk Lamb. That was on a direct path to him. It had no spin whatsoever, and that was just a miscue by Dylan Marks, who was in a world of trouble. Bases loaded, still 1 out for Ryan Callahan.
Yeah, I mean, bases loaded. There is a force everywhere now, but a chance for the Bucs to take the lead. And I don't know about, I'm very torn on the scoring of that play.
We can always go back. I was thinking that maybe it's just a hit because even if he fields it cleanly, it's such a weird angle that he's throwing at behind the pitcher's mound. And even if he makes the throw, it's still probably not a lot on the throw. But that's in the past. We'll focus on the present. We can always go back and fix that. We usually can't say that about the past, but our past we can fix.
Good point.
1 ball, no strikes to Callahan. Carlone moves to second, Hankins at third. Next pitch, called strike on the outer half. Briggs, the first runner to score for the Bucs. We'll wait and see if that would be an RBI for Carlone. We might go back and change that. 1-1, hit the other way, through a base hit. Scoring is Hankins, stopping at third is Carlone. It's an RBI single for Ryan Callahan. Back-to-back days with RBIs.
All of a sudden, it's a hit parade. Where'd this come from?
2 RBIs yesterday and already 1 in today's game for Ryan Callahan. He keeps the bases loaded. He moves the line along, and he hands the baton off to Tommy Eisenstadt.
And another guy who's a great candidate for another base hit. Would love to see the Bucs add on after taking the lead.
A 2-1 game thanks to Ryan Callahan, Cole Carlone. First pitch to Eisenstadt is a called strike on the outer half. Good to see Callahan's back starting to heat back up. I wouldn't say he was in any bit of a slump at all, but definitely after that huge hot stretch at the end of June, had to cool off just a little bit as Eisenstadt hits this sharply to Sanders at second. Bad throw, but a good pick at second base, and they get Callahan, but coming around to score is Carlone. It's now a 3-1 ball game as the Pilots trade out for a run. They were looking for the double play and probably would have had it with a better throw in Eisenstadt running down the line.
Yeah, not the best throw at all from Sanders, and the Bucs will take it so big to add that extra run on.
Great play by Hefner, able to catch it and stick the tag. Peyton Knowles bats, takes that one outside. So Eisenstadt trades spots with Callahan, who's out at second. Andrew Lamb moves all the way to third. Runners at the corners with 2 down. Callahan, Hankins, and Brody Briggs scoring as Tommy Eisenstadt is going to take second base. And I was about to say, when we mentioned him the other inning, getting on base and having a chance at a stolen base, the lack of stolen bases for him is, I would say, is interesting because when he does steal a bag and doesn't get caught, it's because he does it the right time and figures out that right point. I think he noticed that Dylan Marks was a little bit slower in delivering that ball, so when he did, he was able to snag second base, and Eisenstadt does such a great job of catching all of the guys off guard for the Pilots. Knowles lines this foul down the line. Same with Carlone, too. Carlone is definitely a little bit faster, but with those long legs, Carlone does such a great job of reading the baseball, reading pitchers, too, and the delayed steals. It seems like him and Eisenstadt always pick the perfect time to snag a bag and usually are rarely thrown out. 2-1s in the dirt. Good eye by Knowles.
Yeah, no, this team, they're very opportunistic with when they run. Such a smart team on the pads.
Three balls, 1 strike to Knowles. The pitch, that misses. Another walk for Peyton Knowles. That's his first one of the day. But on this season, Peyton Knowles now has 20 total walks.
Unreal.
And he's got about almost 30 or 40 less at-bats than the guys at the top who have 16 walks for Will Burns and 13 walks for Carlone. Just 11 for Brody Briggs, who has about 30 or 20 more at-bats than Peyton Knowles. That one's upstairs to Max Ross. Bucs now batting around. 9th batter to come to the plate here in the 8th inning. Pilots struggling to get through this Bucs order. 2 down, though. Misses up and away. I gotta hand it to the guys next to us holding down the scoreboard. I mentioned you, Halverson, Garvey Rummery, Zane Kelly doing a great job. They barely missed anything. 2-0's a called strike. I just mentioned them now because they were a little bit behind on the first 2 balls, but they quickly got right back to it. And I gotta say, they're up there for some of the best scoreboard operators I've been next to.
They had last count better than I had it.
2-1. One's outside.
And nowhere to put Max Ross.
Andrew Rudd having plenty of time to warm up in the bullpen, is probably enjoying now warming up with a 2-run lead at least heading into the 9th inning. Bucs have totally turned this game around. Hitters count for Ross. The pitch, swung on and missed. Good hack, but comes up empty. Inning started with a leadoff double by Brody Briggs, and any leadoff runners aboard usually bodes well for any team.
100%.
Sack bunt moved him over. A walk, error, hit by pitch, and a single by Callahan. That one is up and away, and it's ball 4. Coming in to score is Andrew Lamb. He makes it a 4-1 ball game. Another RBI for Max Ross.
Yep, just continuing to move the line. Now back to where it all began.
Yep, Brody Briggs started this inning with that leadoff double, and Callahan's RBI single. After that, Eisenstadt with the fielder's choice had scored a run as well. First pitch to Briggs misses, or excuse me, is a called strike. Another delay, or an umpire with a delayed call.
100%.
He's so nonchalant with it. Sometimes I can tell when they're about to do it, but for this guy, I can't really tell anything. Quickly 0-1 to Briggs. Next one, same spot, same call.
Same time for the call.
Yeah, we've seen Marks doing a good job just hitting that outside part of the zone. That's where Peyton Allen was working a lot, but he's also just had no command or no sense for command on some other at-bats where he's just walked these Bucs hitters and just not been competitive. Briggs rolls over on this one to Jake Dodge at first. The flip to Dylan Marks is in time, and that ends the bottom half of the 8th inning. But the Bucs storm back with 4 runs. It started out with that leadoff double by Brody Briggs, an RBI single by Callahan, a fielder's choice, an error mixed in there too, makes it a 4-1 Bucs lead as we head to the top of the 9th inning. It's Andrew Rudd coming out of the bullpen looking for the save. Welcome back. It is Andrew Rudd on the hill for the Bucs, and he has been absolutely dominant in his 10th appearance, but in his 9 before this, 2-1. Before that, the first pitch misses upstairs. We're a little bit late getting back because we were talking with the guys next door, Halverson, Rummery, and Zane Kelly, about how good of a job they're doing next to us. The second pitch by Rudd popped up. It's going to be Ryan Callahan in left field drifting back, and he's got that one for out number 1. Andrew Rudd working really quickly, not letting me get through his line for the season, but his totals in his 9 appearances, like I said, 2-1, all of them coming out of the bullpen. 2 saves, 21 innings pitched, 18 hits given up, 1 earned run. Good enough for a .43 ERA, and if it weren't for Rummery's last amazing start yesterday, he'd have the lowest ERA as he gets another pop-up, this time shallow left field, long run for Callahan as he hauls that one in 2 very different types of fly balls to left field. One where Callahan was drifting out and towards center, and this one going in and towards the third base line, but quickly 2 down, and will finally bring you into this top half of the 9th.
Yeah, Rudd, last pitch just a couple of days ago. He worked the 9th inning and picked up a save, looking for another one here to clinch this Mayor's Cup.
Back-to-back flyouts to Callahan in left field. Jacob Coes, Jake Dodge did those flyouts, and now Jack Dorn. another swing and a miss.
And just want to say before maybe Rudd finishes this, did switch that Carlone at bat to a hit. So he
Yes.
picks up the RBI. It's an earned run.
And to say that, but Rudd's been working so dang quick, and he's done. How about that? A called strike 3. Good morning, good evening, and good night. Andrew Rudd wastes absolutely no time in taking care of the Pilots. The Bucs take this one 4-1. We'll go ahead and take a break real quick as we let the Bucs celebrate a little bit. We'll be right back with the totals of the line score. Welcome back, and you can see on our screen that Mayor's Cup being brought by the Pilots Bad Boy. And that is a big old trophy right there. The team getting their huddle real quick, but once they get out of that huddle, they're going to be greeted with a huge trophy. And we were talking about how much or how meaningful this Mayor's Cup is, and then maybe it is more meaningful than we thought.
I was saying it's a big deal. First time since 2018 for the Bucs, and good to have that cup back on the third base side here at Mulcahy Stadium. Not just for these teams, but I know the cup means a lot from an organizational standpoint, top down, and it's good for the Bucs to have it, and rightfully so with the year they've had so far.
Yeah, a great job beating the Pilots once again. Have yet to fall to them since all the way back in June. It's been about a month, and the Bucs getting that trophy, they're hoisting it up. Bill Springman with it right now, and back-to-back wins in the Mayor's Cup means they just need one more to sweep the Pilots in that very Mayor's Cup. So the team hoists the trophy. Hopefully that's not the only trophy that the Bucs will be hoisting this year.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
I can. I won't. But that is 3 straight victories for the Bucs as they win 4-1. Looking ahead to tomorrow, the Bucs enjoy an off day. They will not play, and they will get geared up for a doubleheader versus the Pilots on Friday. And for the Pilots, unfortunately, they've got a doubleheader tomorrow, and then they roll into a doubleheader with the Bucs. So we might be catching them at the perfect moment to snag 2 wins in just one day. So once again, day off tomorrow, and on Friday, a doubleheader. For the line score, the Anchorage Glacier Pilots 1 run on 7 hits and just 1 error. The Bucs 4 runs, all coming in the bottom half of the 8th inning on 4 hits and no errors. Some clean baseball for this Bucs team. Once again, a 4-1 victory from our partner Will Hopkins. I'm Vic Massey saying so long and good day from Mulcahy Stadium here in Alaska.